Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. I am Ben the Bold, and we are once again continuing down the Naval Academy missions. We have done 16 of them. This one will be destroyers versus torpedo boats. So, our goal is to escort a battleship that is under attack by 2 cruisers and 10 torpedo boats. So, it looks like we are building destroyers, or at least one destroyer, for about $6 million, and well, we have quite the fleet against us. Of course, we do have this heavy battleship. We don't get to design it, but hopefully it will be very beneficial to use to sink some of their fleet. We only have 60 minutes. Of course, we have to keep our battleship alive. We have to sink 70% of the enemies. But it sounds like they are attacking me, right? Yeah, so, well, we'll see what happens. In this case, I think that, well, you know what? We have been so lucky with the just enhanced guns. Enhancing guns has been really what has driven me through so many of these missions at this point. So I'm actually going to go ahead, and at least the first time that I tried this mission, I'm going to go with enhanced guns. So let's go ahead and do, well, of course, I'm making destroyers. I'm making destroyers. You know what? I'm going to go with enhanced guns. As I said, it's been beneficial in other missions. Let's go ahead and try it here. It looks like the destroyer hull, destroyer 1, is the only hull I have to choose from. So let's see what kind of ship I can build with just this destroyer 1 hull. So this is the destroyer I've come up with. It's a little funky looking. It has no lifeboat, so hopefully it doesn't sink. It does have 2 5-inch guns, and it has 4 torpedo tubes. So we'll see. Maybe it can be somewhat helpful as far as the torpedoes go. In fact, maybe I should think about getting these electric torpedoes. That seemed to be very beneficial in our Sink the Dreadnought with just some destroyers playthrough. So I'll go ahead and do the electric torpedoes, see what I got. I'm only doing 15-inch torpedoes, mostly because I'm trying to save a little bit of weight. I wonder if I could pop it up to 16. No. Alright, so I'm just going to do the 15-inch torpedoes. I'm not taking on a Dreadnought. The heaviest thing that I'm going against is a heavy cruiser. I'm building 3 of these, plus our battleship. Hopefully we will be able to sink 70% of their fleet, but let's give it a try. So first things first, let's look at this battleship that we are protecting. It is the battleship Erin. It is a British battleship, and, well, it has some big guns. It's got a couple 9-inch guns, so nothing huge. It has a ton of casemates, but they're all, like, very small, 2 and 3 inches, which is going to be helpful when it comes to the torpedo boats, but maybe not as much help when it comes to sinking the 2 heavy cruisers. Hopefully the 2 9-inch guns will be enough to help sink the heavy cruisers. So we moved our destroyers a little bit closer to their heavy cruisers, basically, and we have started to identify some of these torpedo boats. We really want to focus fire down the torpedo boats with our destroyers. We're not necessarily interested in making torpedo runs, although indeed, it looks like we have shot 4 torpedoes, so we'll have to keep a careful eye on where those are going. Maybe that'll hit one of the torpedo boats. It would be even better if they could hit one of the heavy cruisers. But I do want to use the torpedo boats as kind of a screen to the battleship. The battleship is still going to attack the heavy cruisers. Unfortunately, one of our destroyers has gone ahead and sunk due to flooding. Another one actually looks to be on its way. It looks like these destroyers are maybe not necessarily the best ships in the fleet, and they are going down quite quickly. There's a good chance that maybe, I made them really long, so maybe I should focus on making more smaller destroyers. But anyway, we'll finish out this scenario, but I'm not feeling super great about where we are in the current moment. So it seems like actually a big problem with this scenario so far has been just all these torpedo boats have been firing torpedoes at me, and because I haven't been paying super close attention, admittedly I'm not playing this on the speed 1, I've been mostly playing so far on speed 3, so that's on me. But it looks like we are getting lots of torpedo hits. And of course, you know, that's exactly what I would do. Build a whole bunch of torpedo boats and just come in and try to overwhelm the opposing ships with torpedoes. It seems like their plan is working as of now. We may fail this one. I must say, I'm surprised with the just sheer audacity of some of these torpedo boats. They have just been pulling right up next to me. I've been able to beat them off with the secondaries on the Erin to keep them from being able to fire torpedoes from just devastatingly close range, which has been helpful, but without any screens, it has been difficult. Looks like they just had an ammo explosion or something, but they are in some serious trouble. We are, of course, having to watch all these torpedo boats. The Aaron is doing remarkably well. Of course, it's not necessarily destroying any of their heavy cruisers yet, but we'll see what happens. If we did win the scenario, it's definitely not because of me. It's because the Aaron is just beasting out. So no matter what, we're going to play this one again. But I have a feeling the Aaron's probably going to end up sinking. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see. And I definitely am going to play this one again because I feel like I, in this case, completely did fail because my destroyers all went out very, very quickly. And it looks like there's nothing I can do to get away from it. The Aaron is going to take a torpedo hit. It might even take a few more. That hurts. We're going to start taking on some flooding. And I think this ship is destined for the deep. It lost all its screen protection. That's on me. Next time, I have a new plan. I'm going to actually take, instead of enhanced firepower, I'm going to take the extra funds and try to build lots of destroyers, not worry about the torpedoes. I don't think the torpedoes are where I want to go. I'm going to try to rely on my battleship to take out the heavy cruisers, and I'm going to try to build several destroyers that will, instead of, shooting torpedoes at the heavy cruisers, or even at the torpedo boats, have lots of small guns. Yep, there I take another torpedo hit. I will have lots of small guns on those torpedoes and see if we can win that way. So yeah, I did end up losing that one. The battleship Aaron fought on valiantly for quite some time, even taking several torpedoes. But it did eventually sink beneath the waves, and we did lose that scenario. So I have decided to go ahead and, just like I said, I'm going to do more funds, get $2 million more, so I'll have $8 million. I'm going to try to build a lot of maybe smaller, but with more gun, heavily arsenal, not armored, just several more destroyers with more guns instead of just those 2 5-inchers. So let's see what I can build. So after fiddling with it for a little while, this is the design I came up with. I have 3 enhanced funnels, which should help my acceleration a little bit. I have a bunch of 4-inch guns. I actually have 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how this is going to really help me. And I only have 1 torpedo tube, because apparently I had to have a torpedo tube on a destroyer. I was going to just kind of outfit it with just a bunch more guns, or with another gun, but so let's try this. I can build 6 of these. That's much more than just the 3 kind of heavier destroyers I built earlier. They're a little bit smaller. They're not quite as long. I did increase the bulkheads to standard, so hopefully I won't have the flooding issue. I also gave them a little bit more armor than I had before. I'm able to do this because those torpedo launchers are actually quite heavy, and you have to store a bunch of torpedoes in the ship, and those things are massive. They're heavy. This lets me save some weight, lets me add more guns. I still have a torpedo launcher, so who knows, maybe I'll get a lucky hit. But I think this is going to be the design that does it. Let's give it a shot. So I'm zoomed out all the way. I've had a pathing issue. I've been trying to get these ships to turn just any which way to get them to come towards the enemy, but one of these 2 ships just kind of are bouncing off of each other, don't necessarily know what's happening, but it's causing my entire, I should maybe just detach these 2. It's causing my entire destroyer flotilla to kind of turn away and put my battleship in kind of a risky situation, so I'm going to have to turn away with my battleship as well. Come on, let's get this sorted out. Let's just have you go ahead and just detach and just go this way. Please, my destroyers, come back. They keep making this like medical symbol where they just intercross. Come on, actually turn this time. Nope, they're going to hit again. Alright, and so this is the ship I came up with. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's an Austro-Hungarian ship. It has a ton of 3-inch guns. As you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3-inch guns. And they should be able to shoot in every which direction. And it has 1 single torpedo tube. It turns out you have to have a torpedo tube on a destroyer. Who knew? I was actually able to give it an inch of belt armor and a little over a ½ inch of belt extended. It's still plenty fast. I put bulkheads up to standard, so hopefully we won't have some of the flooding issues that we had in the last fight. I'm going to build 5 of them. I think that should be enough to take on all the torpedo boats and hold them at bay. I am just using these 3-inch shells, which might be a little light, but I think just against the torpedo boats we'll still be okay. And in this case, we're going to try to rely on hopefully a very well-built battleship. Again, I'm not building the battleship, but hopefully a well-built battleship to take down the 2 heavy cruisers. So let's give it a shot. It appears that we've done a good amount of damage to the heavy cruiser Toledo. They are no longer moving. They seem to be stuck in the water, so maybe we have... it doesn't say that we've damaged their engines, but we'll keep pummeling the Toledo, try to sink it. We are starting to see some of these light torpedo boats. We want to keep an eye out for them. I definitely want to sink any that come too close to my battleship, you especially. I want to make sure that we keep them at an arm's distance so that we can see those torpedoes in the water, so that we don't have to deal with our battleship getting hit by, you know, some stray torpedoes. I'll tell you what, these torpedo boats have just kind of caused sheer panic. I've had to detach all of these destroyers from one another because they're just a little too cumbersome to move around when there are so many torpedoes in the water. I'm just trying to keep them away from torpedoes. Unfortunately, the Origin did take a pretty bad hit from one of these heavy cruisers, so it looks to be on its way down under. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's much we can do about it. We are going to take a torpedo hit here onto the Albert. Let's just hope it doesn't do much damage. We also just got a message saying that one of our destroyers is sinking. The Albert is in trouble. Our destroyers are in trouble. They're not really doing much against these torpedo boats like I had hoped. Makes me worry. Makes me worry about winning this one. So, I know I just went for more funds, but I think I'm actually going to try to go with enhanced guns again. It's been so helpful for me, and I think I built 3 just bad destroyers the first time, especially because I didn't put a bunch of guns on them. I should have gone with enhanced torpedoes if I thought I was going to put a ton of torpedoes on there. And in fact, maybe that's an option that we could try, just put a whole bunch of torpedoes and let them launch towards the torpedo boats. But those torpedo boats, they do a good job at evading the torpedoes, so let's just try enhanced guns. Alright, so this is the Chinese destroyer that I have built, and I will say that of all the designs I've built so far, I think this one I like the most. Once again, I've decided to go heavier with the 5-inch guns. Now, this one, it's going to have kind of a limited effectiveness. It's really only good for broadsides, but Only 1 torpedo mount again. I have 2 enhanced funnels, so it should have a decent acceleration. I went ahead and put the mast, the tower, up at the very front of the ship. Maybe that will help because of the increased elevation. Maybe it would help with the spotting, although no, it doesn't look like it. I did make this thing very slow. Went with heavy shells. It increases my shell weight, and it does increase the chance that my ship just goes kaboom, but it also increases the chance that their ships just go kaboom, and it increases my gun range, shell penetration, stuff like that. So I'm hoping that maybe these gunboats with the enhanced... Oh, also, of course, faster reloading, hydro turrets. I'm not quite as heavily armored. I'm only building 4 of these destroyers, but honestly, that might be okay for me, because I was having a hard time just kind of controlling all of the ships that I had. They tended to want to like bounce off of each other, and it was just a mess. I wasn't able to keep them in a nice battle line because I was so worried about all the torpedoes coming from the torpedo boats. Let's go ahead and give this one a shot, see if this maybe can finally start sinking some of those torpedo boats, because if I can get some destroyers that can sink a bunch of torpedo boats, I know that our battleship can hopefully do the rest. So let's give it a shot. Unfortunately, there wasn't much I could really do. They just ran up, put a torpedo in the water, and I tried to turn away, but it didn't seem like that was going to do it, so I tried to race past it, and unfortunately we are going to take a torpedo hit with our battleship. It's not going to do a ton of damage, but it does actually knock out some engines. That's going to mean that our battleship is now kind of dead in the water, at least as far as those torpedoes are concerned. I'm a little worried about this again. Dadgummit. Unfortunately, our battleship is going to sink, which means we have once again lost this scenario. Let's try it again. Let's next time build some boats more optimized towards torpedoes, optimizing especially towards torpedo range. Let's see if we can just maybe stay at range, and maybe that will help. But this is a tough one. It's been a while since I've lost 3 or 4 straight, so that's both good and frustrating. I'm excited to, finally have a challenge. I was winning a bunch of those earlier missions just very easily, but this one is tough. Alright, this is the destroyer that I've decided to make. Unfortunately, I'm only going to make 3 of them. That's probably not going to get the job done in this situation just because, well, they are going to have just overwhelm me with torpedo boats. But with that said, it's also can be kind of difficult on just the management end to have a whole bunch of destroyers going every which way. And as you can see, we are immediately going to shoot off just a huge load of torpedoes as soon as the first torpedo boat of theirs comes into range. So I did think that I wasn't going to get any hits with the torpedoes, but indeed I am actually going to get one huge hit. That's big. I didn't notice we had any torpedoes in the water, but their heavy cruiser was actually just hit by a torpedo. I don't know if that came from my battleship from super afar or from my destroyers. You can see my destroyers, though, did suffer from making this torpedo run. Oh, and I didn't see it, but unfortunately, the only destroyer that I had in good health seems to have taken a hit from a torpedo. That's the danger of all these torpedo boats. There's just so many torpedoes in the water, you've really got to be watching out. Alright, so it's giving me the message that some of my guns have a poor sector of fire, and that's going to be the torpedo tube. I'm not really relying on the torpedo tubes in this episode. Oh, and our battleship has just sunk due to extensive fire, and it is going to go down, which means we are going to fail that mission. My battleship is caught well. Oh, and would you look at that? The heavy cruiser Impenetrable is not so impenetrable, and it is going to go down. That is huge. I don't really know what my ships are doing at this point, but they're in that screening mode. They're just trying to protect my battleship, and you know what? They are definitely keeping the destroyer or their torpedo boats at bay. They're going to launch a torpedo. I might try to sacrifice my destroyer so that I don't take another hit on the battleship. In fact, they might miss it. They might miss. No, they're going to hit it. This is going to do a lot of flotation damage to my battleship. Oh, what an epic... I think our battleship is going to go down. We unfortunately just can't seem to hit these torpedo boats. Alright, let's try this again with these Japanese destroyers. This time, I don't know if this is necessarily the best idea, but I went with 2 5-inch guns in the center line, 2 torpedo tubes in the center of the destroyer, and then I went with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-inch guns on each side. Long story short for this attempt is that it didn't work. This time, I'm just going to try something. We're going to see what happens. Well, the good news is I did fire my torpedoes. The bad news is I took a torpedo. Alright, let us try this again. I think I'm just going to leave them in the standard screen formation. That's going to mean they're going to turn in, but I think when they see some torpedo boats on the horizon, they will start to attack them instead. Oh man, we just took a big hit. Alright, here's my next model. I don't have 8 destroyers. I'm only going to build 7, but I have 2 4-inch guns, and I have 3 torpedo tubes. Now, can I put like maybe just some 2-inchers on here? Just a little... Is that gonna, if I put like 2 2-inchers, yeah, that's gonna I can still build. Alright, so I'll do that. Alright, we have our destroyer kind of swarm, this time launching a bunch of torpedoes in the water. Alright, we have sunk one of their heavy cruisers due to structural damage. It looks like they had an ammo fire. Let's have you take on the Spiteful, please. Yes, and their other heavy cruiser has sunk too. So once again, it is just a bunch of destroyers and 1 battleship against a ton of just torpedo boats. Oh, what a hit! What a hit from the Glory when it needed one the most! If they get close enough to launch torpedoes, this is over. We're gonna hit them with a torpedo. That's excellent. Oh, come on. We may only have to sink 1 more. We may only have to sink 1 more. Launch torpedoes if you got them. Launch torpedoes if you got them. None of us do. Looks like we avoided the worst of it, but we got to turn around and get back to our battleship. We really sold out to try to sink the Spearohawk. It's going to take some flooding. This destroyer has to get back. Oh, and the Glory is sinking, which means we are going to lose. We were going to win that one. Oh, we were so close. Okay, let's try this again. This time I have built a little Chinese destroyer with a bunch of 5-inch guns. And unfortunately, we take another big hit. We're going to lose 2 destroyers here. Yeah, and all our destroyers have unfortunately sunk. Our battleship is taking torpedo hit after torpedo hit. It's not able to defend itself any longer, and there indeed it sinks as well. I have to use my destroyers to be able to screen my battleship, which means keep their torpedo boats away. So my plan here is to just be a little bit smarter. I'm going to try to keep all my destroyers a little farther away so that they don't take much fire from these heavy cruisers. With that said, this destroyer is going to get a big hit. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's try it again, this time with 4-inch guns all around. And predictably, our decision to just charge in is not looking to pay off well, as we are not going to be able to avoid these torpedoes, I don't think. Maybe if I go straight ahead at the last moment. They'll breeze by, they will breeze by. You know what? We might just get lucky here. Those torpedoes are going to breeze. Oh, I thought it was going to breeze right by us. It didn't. Oh well. Alright. Let's try this again, this time with an Austro-Hungarian light destroyer. Well, unfortunately, we have lost 1 destroyer. It took a torpedo hit. That's just kind of the name of this game. This time, I think I'm just going to go with more funds. Let's try to build a horde of ships. Let's see if this Chinese destroyer can have any better luck. I'm starting this one off a little different. I'm just turning tail, and actually I'm going to run away. So weirdly and unfortunately, I think we're going to shoot ourselves with a torpedo here. These are our torpedoes coming directly at our ships. Great. I think there's nothing encapsulates how well this mission has gone for me than shooting myself with my own torpedoes. Although this one, I'm going to hit them with it, and it looks like I am indeed going to barely miss over here. Oh, buddy. No. I'm going to shoot myself with a torpedo. Right here. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to shoot myself with 2 torpedoes. Maybe they won't. Maybe there's no friendly fire. Maybe there's no friendly fire. I hit myself. I hit myself with 2 torpedoes. Just to confirm, there are no enemy ships on this side of the map. I have just shot from my own destroyer and hit myself twice. Alright, well, I can't say that this mission isn't going well, because I've hit multiple ships with torpedoes now. Unfortunately, some of them happen to be mine. Alright, with this French destroyer, I'm focusing on speed. Oh, that maneuverability is already paying off. Dodge those 2 torpedoes like a boss. Hey, we strike first by sinking one of theirs. We hit it with a torpedo. Excellent. We're going to keep on keeping on. Oh, am I going to slide? Is it going to... Oh my gosh, it looks like it's going to thread the needle. No, I'm going to get 1 hit. Boom, that does some good damage. That'll do it. Looks like their heavy cruiser's taking a lot of flooding damage. I'm a little worried about where my battleship is in relation to their torpedo boat. Oh, but it doesn't matter because it's actually going to sink. Let's go ahead and just give chase to their cruiser. There we go. We have a huge ammo detonation on their heavy cruiser. And they are giving chase to us, but they are a heavy cruiser down. Alright, it looks like they have put a torpedo in the water. Let's just make sure we all steer clear, well clear of it. That destroyer is going to miss us. Or that torpedo is going to miss us, barely. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're stuck again. You're stuck again. Alright, just breeze by it. Breeze by it. Faster. Oh, no. Alright. That's only going to hit us because we got stuck. We're still stuck. We're still turning. Why are we turning? Oh, we're going to get a bad hit. A very bad hit. Oh, and actually we missed it. We dodged it. Oh, but now we're going to take a hit. Oh, all my ships are too close together. They're taking bad... did we shoot those at ourselves? I think I'm going to go ahead and send the Marocain on a torpedo run on their heavy cruiser. Meanwhile, our fish are looking to be going straight and true. I don't even know if they see them yet or if they've noticed. That's going to be 2 hits right there in the center of the ship, right where you want to see it. Boom, boom. That's helpful. That's helpful. Very much so. And you've got to be going down soon, right? There's just a lot to micromanage here. We're going to fire our torpedoes, and now let's go ahead and turn and run. Looks like their battleship's going to take at least 1 hit, maybe 2. Come on, take it the second. Oh, and it's only going to take 1 hit. Oh, well. These 2 torpedoes look to be heading true. We're going to hit it right in the center of the ship. Right in the center of the ship. Or maybe not. Come on, hit something. Hit something. We're going to get 2 big hits to the rear. Excellent. Plus, they're going to miss their torpedoes. They've fired quite a few. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it was dead in the water. It was dead in the water. Come on, turn. 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 Yes. This is that maneuverability really coming into play. What a just hair-breaking turn, a handbrake turn by the captain of the Opinionardi. What a turn indeed. Let us have you. No, don't know why you're going that way. Oh, well. What a job. He avoided those 2 torpedoes. He deserves a raise. He saw them in the water. He identified them. He took care of them. Let's go ahead and bring you back this way just to finish off the Triton. We only have to sink 70% of their fleet. That means we do not have to sink their entire fleet. They are unfortunately not about to fire their torpedoes, although can't say the same about the Triton. I can see the Triton launching off a torpedo salvo, so let's go ahead and turn away here. The wall is finally sunk. The Triton is sunk. We're getting there. We may only have to sink a couple more of their little torpedo boats. After all, we don't have to sink all their ships, just 70% of them. We are right there. Fire. Oh, no, 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 no! Alright, we're gonna just miss our own torpedoes. You did fire, good job. Let's get you out of there. You can't do any more good here. You, though, can still shoot. And I need you to. I also need both of those to hit. They're going to try to turn away. Oh, are they going to do it? Are they going to turn away? We're going to get 1 hit. Are we going to get 2? Are we going to get 2? 1, 2. That's big. That's big. That's big. Their heavy cruiser's sinking. All right, that's got to be close to done for them, right? And the alligator's gone. Oh my goodness. If I fail this because I cannot find them in the next 23 minutes, I'm going to be very mad. Unfortunately, our battleship just no longer is moving. It's moving at a grand total of 2.9 knots, so it's pretty much done. We need just a lucky hit or something at this point. Or for you to fire your torpedoes and hit something, please. Yeah, alright, so it looks like we might have to deal with many more of their ships, actually. As it appears that they at least have 3, maybe 5 more. Pretty much my only hope is that I can beat 70% of their ships if I can just take down 1 more vessel. And they have 3 torpedoes left. Maybe they'll fire when we come across the polyp. Or maybe they won't. That's fine. We're just going to do that weird turning thing. Come on, fire your torpedoes. I've put you in aggressive. You don't seem to want to shoot them, no matter what. Fire your torpedoes. Please fire your torpedoes. Fire your torpedoes. Please fire them. Please fire them. Shoot your torpedoes, please. Or just polyp sink. And with 53 seconds left, it looks like we're actually going to run out of time in this scenario. We sank both their heavy cruisers. We sank a bunch of their torpedo boats, but alas, and indeed, I guess that's a good way for it to end. With 12 seconds left, we lose 1 more destroyer to a torpedo. And we are forced to once again try again. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold everything. Did we sink something at the end? It says we won. Did we complete it? What? Huh. Interesting. If you just play it out till the time limit goes, you fail. Did we have a last second win? It says we completed it. It said mission completed. It said mission successful. This has been a really tough one. I don't necessarily understand how I won that. Maybe I did indeed sink 70% of the enemy ships. And it just didn't end it. Or maybe I got one last sink right there as time expired. I'm going to choose to believe that I got one last torpedo boat sunk right there as time expired, mostly because this video has gone on long enough already. I have been trying to sink these torpedo boats for, honestly, hours at this point. I'm calling it a victory. This has been Destroyers versus Torpedo Boats. Hallelujah, we are victorious, I guess. I don't necessarily know how. That was a frustrating win. Still, though, I'm having a ton of fun in this game. Tune in next time, though, for when we take on Super Dreadnought or Battle Cruiser, where our objective will be to destroy an enemy fleet with a superior warship. That one I'm really excited for. This one, this Destroyers versus Torpedo Boats, I am excited to be done with it, and I will see you on the next one.